Far out in the southwestern Pacific Ocean lies a land of breathtaking beauty. Rugged mountains, lush forests and coastlines carved by time. This is New Zealand. But who found this land? How was it first discovered? Let's journey back in time. Centuries before maps marked this place, before it was even called New Zealand. Long before European explorers arrived, New Zealand was discovered by the greatest navigators the world has ever known, the Polynesians. Around 1250 to 1300 CE, these master sailors used the stars, ocean swells and bird migrations to guide their waka, large double-hulled canoes across the vast Pacific. They came from East Polynesia, part of a great seafaring culture that had already reached Hawaii, Rapa Nui and other remote islands. The Polynesians who settled in Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud, would become known as the Maori. They brought with them their language, their customs and their rich mythology. They adapted to a new climate, developed new tools and established strong tribal societies across the islands. New Zealand was now a human home, but for the rest of the world it remained unknown. In 1642, nearly 400 years after the Maori first arrived, the silence of isolation was broken. Dutch explorer Abel Tasman, sailing for the Dutch East India Company, became the first European to sight New Zealand. He charted part of the South Island's coastline, naming it Stattenland, believing it might be connected to South America. Later it was renamed Neo-Zealand after a Dutch province, Zeeland. But Tasman never set foot on shore. A violent encounter with local Maori in Golden Bay left 4 of his crew dead. He sailed away unaware of the vast land he'd only glimpsed. More than 120 years later, in 1769, a British navigator arrived with better maps, better tools, and a mission of exploration. Captain James Cook, aboard the Endeavour, circumnavigated and mapped the entire coastline of New Zealand. Cook's encounters with the Maori were both peaceful and tense, but his journals gave Europe its first real knowledge of New Zealand, its geography, its people, its potential. This marked the beginning of European interest. Traders, missionaries, and settlers soon followed. Over the 19th century, the Maori and Europeans formed complex relationships through trade, intermarriage, and cultural exchange. But with colonization came conflict. In 1840, the Treaty of Waitangi was signed between many Maori chiefs and the British Crown. It was meant to protect Maori rights while allowing British governance. But differing understandings of the treaty, especially between its English and Maori versions, led to decades of disputes and wars. Despite the turmoil, a new nation began to take shape, one with a unique identity. A land shared by Maori and Pākehā, settlers and natives, tradition and modernity. Today, New Zealand stands as a beacon of biculturalism and natural wonder. But its story began long ago, with canoes on the open sea, sails on the horizon, and the courage of those who dared to discover. This is the story of how New Zealand was found. Not once, but twice, first by the navigators of the Pacific, then by the explorers of Europe. 2 worlds, 1 land, Aotearoa, New Zealand.